Today I'm going to be doing a quick unboxing and overview of the Craftsman 5-gallon shop vac. And as you can see, this one has a very unique look. For starters, let's talk about the specs. It has 5 gallons of space and 4 horsepower at the peak. For reference, my previous shop vac had 6 gallons and 3 horsepower, and I felt that this was adequate enough. Switching to something with a little less space but more power means this device is relatively potent, especially if you compare it to anything else available today. 2 features on the box that are pretty common among most shop vacs are that it has a rear blower and that it has a locking hose. The hose is 1 1/4 of an inch wide in diameter, which is surprisingly small considering the power that this vacuum has. On the box, we can also see some of the attachments followed by the model number. And speaking of, here's a list of the attachments with their respective purpose. This product also has a 3-year warranty, which I suppose is okay by today's standards. Alright, so now we can get to the actual unboxing. And when you open the box, this is the first thing you see. The floor nozzle, some of the extension tubes, and of course the top of the vacuum. The first time you take it out, you'll see what I love about it most. It has a very unique reflective surface, and I love that it's so neutral, unlike many other shop vacs. You'll notice that there's also nothing else inside the box, and that's because everything comes prepackaged inside the actual vacuum. We'll look at the attachments in just one second, but I really want to show off the reflective surface. The vacuum kind of looks like a giant tin can. Alright, so let's see what's inside. The first things you'll see are the hose, the crevice tool, and the gulper nozzle. The cartridge filter already comes attached to the vacuum, but the foam filter is inside. If you want to put on the foam filter, you have to remove the cartridge filter and gently slide on the foam filter. I want to emphasize that gently part because I ripped mine. Once that's installed, you can just put the other filter right over it and then put the lid back on. The vacuum also includes 4 wheels that you will need to install yourself. This is easy and they just click into the bottom of the base. Speaking of the base, you'll also notice that above every wheel, there's a designated spot for the attachments. The backside also has another port to which you can attach the hose if you were to need the blower function. This is a great feature, but I do wish it had a cover for when the port's not being used. What if you're vacuuming a dusty room? It might be hard to clean up the dust if the vacuum is constantly blowing it away. I know that some vacuums have this cover because the one we referenced earlier does. One thing I do like about the blower port though, is that it has a few slits to divide the outgoing air and ultimately make the vacuum more quiet. This comparison is hard to show with a recording, but I'll do my best to do a noise comparison. Something I found interesting is that the Craftsman uses a 2-prong wall adapter, as opposed to my other vacuum, which uses a 3-prong adapter. It's just important to note because not all wall outlets accept the 3-prong adapter. Now back to the actual vacuum. The suction port can be found on the front, and it does have a locking mechanism just like the back one, to secure it. Alright, so now to the primary reason I got this vacuum. I do a lot of woodworking, and my garage is very often a mess. With sawdust everywhere after every project, I needed a vacuum powerful enough to pick it all up, but also very easy to store. And I think that's where this vacuum shines. Not just because it's reflective, but because it has 5 gallons and 4 horsepower. This means the ratio between the power and the storage capacity of the vacuum is very high. I think this product could be slightly improved if the hose was a little bit wider. Aside from the fact that it's very stiff, I think a wider hose would allow the vacuum to displace more of its power. I did a very non-scientific test between the old vacuum and the new one, and in my opinion, the suction felt almost the same. I think this is because the old vacuum has a bigger hose and the new vacuum has a smaller hose. So although the Craftsman is technically more powerful, I don't think it's able to deliver all of that power. And that's not to say that it's not a great product. This is honestly a great product for everyday use. I can confidently recommend it to anyone as it looks and feels great. You can put this product anywhere and it won't look out of place because it's really just reflecting what's around it. If you're looking for something compact and easy to use, this is the product for you. If you need something with a crazy amount of power that can handle messy tasks like woodworking, you might have to upgrade. For 95% of people, I think this should do more than enough.